Hello everyone, Brian from Bear Traders here. It is Wednesday, August 25th, and we're halfway through the week, or more than halfway. Of course, this is the midweek video where we take a look where we've been so far this week and try to figure out where things are going for the rest of the week here. Some big event coming up here. We've got Jackson Hole meeting starting on Thursday tomorrow, and then I believe Fed Powell will be speaking on Friday, and everyone's going to be anxiously listening to what he has to say and possibly hints on timing of tapering and how much and all the rest of that good stuff. So anyway, let's start out by taking a look at a few charts here. And as always, before we get going here, I always like to throw up my book here on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. Quick advertisement for that if you want to check it out. It's there for the buy. And let's get down to looking at some charts here. Start out with the treasury yields, which I always like to watch. You can see here we've put in what looks like a higher low and really sprung back here. So we're back up above or at the 50 moving average on the daily, but you can see here quite the reversal in trend, a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern there. But you can see momentum starting to pick up to the upside here. And for the rest of the week, again, I think a lot of people are going to be focusing on what the Fed has to say. Chairman Powell has to say on Thursday or Friday, I should say, and any other sort of messages or notes that come out of the Jackson Hole meeting. Some people are saying they don't want, the Fed isn't intending the Jackson Hole meeting to be a platform for some announcements. But I'm sure if he's going to be speaking, there's going to be some hints there, and it's probably going to cause maybe some churning in the markets as we go through the Friday trading. TLT, again, this is the actual Treasury bond price, and as you see, it's rolling over here as the yields go higher. And question is, are we going to hold this 50 moving average on the price of the bonds? And maybe just churn sideways. We definitely look like we're kind of settling into a bit of a range here. So not expecting a big move one way or another in the next little while. The transports, we did break out, and this is a very classic pattern. This trend line, you can see this nice trend line on the way down. We broke out through it. We checked back to it and found support. So as they always say, prior resistance becomes support, and this is a classic pattern here where the pullback happens, goes back to the trend line, and then we continue to move higher. So we had a pretty good day today. So you can see the transport's headed up, and the stochastics are above 50, momentum moving above 50 here. So you can see transports are starting to pick up to the upside. Again, the Dow, a bit of a couple of indecision candles here in the last couple of days. You can see here this is a big indecision candle today. We did manage to eke out a bit of a game. We were back and forth during the day in the red and in the green. We did manage to finish slightly in the green. Not quite at all-time high. Volume was, again, pretty light. Of course, it is summertime. We are at the end of summer, and that's pretty typical for this time of year. You can see the histogram on the MACD is sort of still sloping upwards, so that's a positive sign as well. The IWM really just found a level here, and you can see exactly after that big sell-off came down here to an area where it had some prior support here and here. Of course, we bounced off it, and we've had a really nice bounce back. The other thing that might be influencing the IWM is AMC, which we've had the return or the revenge of the meme stocks over the last couple of days, and AMC is probably one of the largest holdings in the IWM, albeit it's not huge. I think it's 0.5%, but it certainly hasn't hurt the performance of this index as well. So we've had 4 really nice back-to-back days. We are back into this area here where we had some prior resistance. So again, not surprising, we kind of stopped here at the 224 and changed level and reversed on the day. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. This 224.30 is certainly a level that we'll be watching to see if it can break out. if it can, we can be looking for somewhere up around 230 for the next area of resistance. All the indicators are looking pretty positive right now. We've got MACD crossing, momentum, RSI above 50, stochastic sloping up here. So again, we'll have to watch to see if we can get through this, but I think a lot is going to be hinging on what's coming out of the Fed at the end of the week here. The Qs, again, just marginally higher on the day, another all-time high, despite the fact that interest rates were going up. You can see here volume really low, really light, and we just may be kind of, again, just kind of running out of momentum here and just waiting for that event later in the week. Same comment with the SPY here. You can see here we had a big day on Monday. We get a nice return or comeback Thursday, nice follow through Friday, another follow through Monday, and now we've kind of been just settling out here. Still making all-time highs though. We're just painfully grinding higher. So overall, everything looks like it's still in an uptrend, and I suspect that we will continue to grind higher. September and October usually are not great months for the market, so but this is extraordinary times. So here we are with the dollar again. Tried to rally on the day. It opened up a little higher. Tried to break out, back out, but then just failed again here. So we're dollar still looks weak. And you can see here we're going to come down and test the 20 moving average. So again, stochastics kind of rolling over, MACD heading lower, RSI about to lose 50. So looking for more downside on the dollar, which may be good for commodities and the emerging markets. And the VIX, again, we're right back down to this prior area where we found support so many times before. And again, just keeping an eye on this. If the markets are still going higher and the VIX starts to creep up, then that would be a sign that maybe there's some trend change going to happen. But at this point, I do not see anything of the sort. Take a quick look at some of the performance of the different groups with this chart on FinViz here. And you can see with the rising interest rates, financials certainly were the big beneficiary of that today. And they're kind of creeping up the one week performance, relative performance list. Technology is taking the lead again here with communication services. Kind of usually those two move in lockstep. Again, energy is still looking pretty good here. So again, technology seems to still be the place to be, and financials are still looking pretty good, even when you look at it over a month performance. So yeah, financials certainly looking as a positive. Let's take a look at a few of the stocks we had on watch from the weekend. This was not on the watch list from the weekend, but I was watching X and Alcoa as both as infrastructure trades. So I actually took Alcoa on the Monday and held it for a couple days there and just got out of it. But again, just looking at X had a similar chart. Infrastructure stocks really sold off, and then on the Friday they had this nice little what appeared to be a reversing doji. You can see here the big volume on Friday, sort of a capitulation, a bunch of people selling, giving up on their positions, maybe had bought up here, and that's always a great signal, indicate that maybe the selling is done and some buying is in, and that was a nice little inside candle that gave me confidence to go long on that on Monday. And I announced that in the room as I did that. And here's Baba. Baba I did not trade, but I did trade KWeb. We'll get to that in a minute. Also mentioned that in the room. Again, sort of same theory. Energy transfer, this is a stock I am looking at. The energy sector seems to be doing fairly well right now. It's looking like it's going to break out here, so I'm keeping that on the watch list for the rest of the week. EPI, I'm in this a little bit. It's just kind of flattening out right now, but I still think it has some room to run here with in the India sector. This was the one that I did trade. I knew all the Chinese stocks were really getting oversold here, and mentioned that on the weekend. So on Monday, took the trade, and I really liked the way it went out on the end of the day there. You could see it went out pretty close to the high of the day. And we had this massive gap up on Tuesday, which was really nice, and sold after this huge gap up into this area of resistance. I sold out of that one, but that was just an overnight swing. But again, mentioned that in the room. LYV, this Live Nation, I kind of missed this move, unfortunately, with all the other stuff going on. It did kind of top out here. This is a reversing, pretty much could be a reversing candle, kind of a gravestone doji. Bit of a pullback, not on a huge volume, so I'll maybe be looking at this one, opportunity to get back into it under 84. 82 might be even a better entry, one of these moving averages here. But again, this is kind of a reopening trade. People going back to concerts, etc. Moderna, as I mentioned on the weekend, looked like it's sort of trading between 350 and 400. So I've got some calls that I've sold, 420 calls, and I'm still holding on to those for the end of the week. Hopefully they'll go out below 420, and I'll just keep the premium. Microsoft, I was still watching. It's had a couple of off days here after this big run up. Not surprising. Usually, what happens after you get a big run up, you get a period of consolidation. So this is what I'm kind of expecting for Microsoft. Might even look at it. Might even have an alert here set here at like a 297 or 298 for a gap fill. Maybe, as I mentioned earlier, you have the breakout and the check back. Maybe a check back there would be the area to enter the trade after the gap fill. Right, nice move up here. Bitcoin's been doing really well. UBOT was another one that I had on the watch list, or on the video from the weekend. Again, really nice performer. Had that, sort of sold the rest of that later in yesterday. And X, again, X was just not as good a performer as Alcoa, so I skipped on that one. And as I said, financials, here we are. We're right back up near this high. Let's see if that's an all-time high. Go back a ways here. Looks like it could be. Yeah, definitely an all-time high. And looks like it wants to go higher here. And certainly if interest rates cooperate, that will be definitely the direction it could be continuing to go. Trend is your friend. Zim, nice breakout. Again, gravestone doji here, so looking for a pullback maybe to this 47 level, which would be this high right here, somewhere in this area. And then set an alert. But you can see here volume's been really good over the last week or so. So again, a quick look at the market internals. But you can see here, we're still 50-50, almost exactly 50-50 on stocks below and above their 50 moving average. And you can see here we're 60-40 on the 200, 40% below and 60. So internals are not still looking super fantastic for when you consider that we've been breaking to all-time highs on the NASDAQ and the S&P. But again, we just keep grinding higher for the time being, and interest rates really low. There's really it's like the TINA trade. There's no other alternative for your money. And we'll wrap things up here quickly with just take a look at where we are with the futures right now. You can see here we're pretty much flat. Little bit of red there, but it's hardly even worth noting. But so oil's down a little bit. Oil was up today. Gold's down a fair amount here today, or at least right now. And again here the 10-year up around almost 1.3%. So it's interesting times. And like I said, we'll be a lot of people will be watching Fed Powell and listening to what he has to say once starts talking on Friday. So that's it, everybody. Hope you had a good trading day, and the week's been going well so far. As you know, we'll be starting live on YouTube at 8 o'clock with Jared Engineering the Markets on Thursday. And then we'll do the pre-market show going through the movers and shakers in the morning, followed by Trading the Market Open, all on live on YouTube. So hopefully we'll see you at all or one of those events. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the evening. Bye for now.